It's beeping. It's not working. Hello and welcome back. Today we are going to replace the primary pump on the sump pump. So I did the basement down here. I finished the basement a couple of years ago. When I did that, I put this battery backup system in here. It's got a separate pump in here and the primary pump in here. And you can see right now it's giving me warning signs. And you can see here it says that the pump has failed on it. And I can actually hear the primary pump in there just kind of humming. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but it's definitely failed. And so we are going to take the all this out of here, pull that primary pump out, and replace it with a new one. Luckily, when I did this before, I cut it down here. There's a coupler right here that we can take off. You can see it right here, this coupler. Actually, you probably can't see it because it's dark. If I put some light in here, you can see this coupler right here that I put on here before when I cut this to put that secondary pump in there. So all we gotta do is take these two off, pull that coupler off, and then this whole thing should come out of there, and then we can put the new pump on it, and hopefully it'll go right back together like that. Super easy, I hope. We'll have to see how it goes. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and run that secondary pump and stop the beeping noise too. This will take any water that's currently in it and put it up through this tube. Sounds like it's running right now. I can kind of feel the water coming through this tube. So that'll empty out that basin. So it'll be mostly empty when we start. And then we'll have to be efficient on getting it quickly done because the basin's going to start filling back up with water. We've had a lot of rain around here lately, so it'll be continually draining into it. You can hear it now, how it's kind of getting empty. Probably almost to the point where it'll stop coming out. So now you can hear it where the pump's basically pulling in air now. So it's probably mostly empty down there now. We'll be able to see for sure when I take these two clamps off. Probably be some water that'll come out, and then I'm going to go ahead and take this battery pack out of here too, so we can pull this lid off. And then we can pull the whole assembly out once we get access to this. You can hear the water running back into it. There's the water I expected we're going to get out of it. A little bit of backflow of water there. Not too much though. There's still some pressure on it. I'll let all that kind of come out, otherwise it's going to splash in my face. I really don't want that. There we go. Now that we got that off, this lid can slide up. The light's in the way here. And now we can see everything that's in the basin. There's the main pump down there, and my secondary pump is on this side. Got the floating stuff kind of screwed onto it. I'm going to see if I can pull that out without it falling apart on me. I hope I can. I know that pump down there is pretty heavy. I think the new pump's going to work just fine though. I think we're going to be able to just screw the new one onto it. I'm hoping. There we go. That was pretty painless. Now all we got to do is disconnect my backflow here, which is going to be this one. And then our pump will come loose. triggered the secondary pump when I did that. So we're going to unplug all this, so I don't want that spraying water everywhere. Alright, so I unplugged that from the battery. So that'll stop going off. All we gotta do is get our primary pump hooked back up to that one. Is the old pump. We basically need to unscrew this piece off of here, and then that'll screw back into there, and then we'll get this new pump in there. Gotta remember to take this off so the float works, and then hook our new pipe. That piece I took off, hook the new pipe onto this, back onto it. That's what we're gonna do next. Need to get a plumbing wrench to get this piece off. That's what I'll do next. Alright, I used the plumbing wrench to loosen that up. So this should turn now. So that comes right out of there. Just like that. And then we can screw it into the new pump. Right there on the new one. And then we will use the pipe wrench to tighten it. Get this one out of the way. Just make that hand tight. Should be good enough. Now that's back on there. We can lift, we can slowly put this back in that basin, hook the pipe back up to it with that coupler, and we should be back in business. Should be all there is to it. So here's our new pump. So this is all still together, which is good. Need to hook this coupler right onto that, and then screw it right back into place. That's about where it needs to be. Let's make sure that's on there good. Let's tighten that back up. Now that coupler's back on there nice and tight. Now this coupler here is back on there nice and tight. I'm going to go ahead and take this off, which you're supposed to do so it will actually run. Alright, now that that clamp is on there good, let's see if I can lower this all back in here. That primary pump's kind of sideways. There we go. Primary pump's in there. Secondary pump's in there. It's pretty much lined up where I need it to be. I took the float device off of it. I think that's all we need. Alright, I've got everything situated where I want it down there. Took the stuff off of that pump. My water sensor, I wiped it off. It's still beeping upstairs, but I think it'll dry out, that water sensor down. It's over here. You probably guys can't see it on this side. It's that gray box right there. You probably can't see the light shining right on it. But I'm going to go ahead and put this back together and see if this new pump works. So we just slide the lid back over this. these cords on the right side. This coupler should fit right back on here. Let's tighten this coupler back up. Make sure that's tight. Push this other one still tight. This should be all there is to it. Everything else is hooked back up. We'll plug the backup system back in over here, and we're going to plug that pump in, which it may kick on when we plug it in. I think the float was high enough on it. It did. And so we can hear that pump running. It's pushed all the water out. And it turned off. So there we go. New pump is installed. All we gotta do is plug this back up for the backup and put the battery case back in there, and we're done. So we'll put the battery back in here. Let's make sure we're not sitting on any of the cords. So there we go. New sump pump is installed. I want to thank you guys for coming along. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We'll see you guys next time.